Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for this week's Regal Live Series. Regal Live Series is a weekly live series that aims to enable coaches to build a prosperous coaching business by becoming the best coaches that they can be. Regal Unlimited is a leadership development company that has over a decade of excellence in disrupting leadership development through coaching and coach training. In this edition of the Regal Live Series, we have Vivek Agrawal with us. Vivek is a Chief Information Officer at IndiaMART, India's largest online B2B marketplace. With over 14 years of experience in product and technology, he has led large scale operations and is passionate about leading digital transformation and innovation, enabling business growth and efficiency through data driven solutions and empowering teams to deliver value and excellence. In this episode, he will share his personal experience with Regal Unlimited and Coaching Unlimited, and how he was propelled towards coaching as a transformative journey. Do leaders, despite possessing a leadership skill set and integrating coaching elements into their practices, benefit from coaching? For leaders, coaching is paramount. So, without further ado, Vivek, I would invite you to kindly share your journey. Over to you.
Thank you, Anirudh, for that humble description of my profile. So, I'll tell you, I have been 14 years into product technology, starting from a core product associate right up to the CIO position, which we have just talked about. The journey on the professional front has been awesome for me. It has been great learning throughout. I love technology. But during my journey, I also felt that my love for people, I would say, I every time I realize that I love spending time with people, helping them find answers to their problems, guiding them towards towards the right solution in the personal career, personal and the professional career as well. And then that trigger came to enter into coaching. I have been fortunate enough to have a executive coach at my organization for the past 8 years now, and I truly believe in the benefit and the transformation my coach has helped me in my career. So I thought if that is something which I want to pursue, I want to learn, and that is when last year around July I started understanding the scope of coaching. What is coaching? What are the bodies who make coaches, certifies coaches? And I landed to ICF, tried to understand what ICF does, I started to look for some good academy or institution which can help me know what coaching is. After much efforts, I found about Regal, and that's when I talked to you within Regal. And just to and it was, believe me, it was supposed to be a 2 minutes call for me. I was about to enter an office meeting, and our call went for 15-20 minutes, and I had to actually request the other person in the meeting that I will need 15 more minutes. Our discussion was so engrossing. And I think that time during our call, I was sold to coaching, that yes, this is what I'll do. And I registered immediately. My journey with Regal has been great, not because Regal taught me what coaching is, the support which Regal provides. I think whatever you told me during that call, everything was so true when it actually happened when I joined Regal, I would say. And that's coming from bottom of my heart, because there was some other institution also which I was talking to before you. And they also told me about all the training and everything, but they never touched upon any topic of support, which during our call, that support was very clear. And that happened. I was glad that happened. Today also, this coaching in Unlimited, I did not see as a professional training. I saw it as a support once again from Regal, an initiative from Regal. After completing my ACC training last year in September and November from Regal, I got to know about this Coaching Unlimited. What excited me about Coaching Unlimited, I would say 3 master coaches coming on a single platform. That itself fascinated so much that I registered after talking to you again. And the experience was inspirational, I would say. It and there I realized last weekend I was in the Coaching Unlimited in Mumbai. I realized it's not only the power of the master coaches there, it's also the power of the peer coaches we have. When we come for our training, we have people in the cohort who are aspiring to be coaches. But when we go for Coaching Unlimited, they are coaches, they are professional coaches. You know, that depth at which we could go through all the competencies, and more importantly, the peer learning which we had. Every coach had their own perspective. So it was knowledge overflowing, I would say. It was all coming in. I had only my nothing to, it was all notes and notes and notes. And after my Coaching Unlimited session during the return flight and returning to my home, it was, I just couldn't wait, but went to my notes once again and everything became so fresh. So my experience with Regal and Coaching Unlimited has been awesome. And thank God that I found coaching as my passion, I would say. While what I do in product technology, that's definitely my profession. That is something what gives me bread and butter. I love doing product technology. I love working throughout the day. But coaching, I found that it was very close to my heart. It helps me work on my passion, I would say. So when I found that I have learned coaching, I started to do coaching in my office as well with my peers, my colleagues, and I'm sure I'm able to impact certain lives. And yes, when I tell you about my professional coaching in my office, it's not only about the professional careers. Many of them talk about their personal lives. When I started in my office, I was not expecting that people would come up and open up about their personal lives, but they did. I think that trust helps people to open in their personal fronts, and I'm sure it's helping a lot. Thank you so much for asking that question and having me here.
Thank you, Vivek, sir, for beautifully summarizing your journey so far. A question I would ask you is that you are at the beginning of the pinnacle of the career dream that many leaders have, being a being a C-suite leader. Then what prompted you? Of course, you talked about impacting people's lives, and beyond that, from ACC, why PCC?
I think I missed to mention about my PCC journey. So when I got the training done, my training was completed in November last year, and I was happy doing my ACC and working on my coaching practice and coaching hours. I tell you, I met one of my mentors and my college mentors, who was my mentor in my MBA. I happened to meet around a month ago, and he asked me, "What's new, Vivek?" I said, I have done the training of coaching ACC," and somehow he knew what coaching is. So he asked me, "Only ACC? What will make you stop before MCC?" And this question he asked, and it stayed on my mind for next 2 days. And immediately after that, I got to know about this PCC batch starting. I think my discussion with him happened in December end, and I PCC batch started around 6th or 7th January, if I'm correct. And I immediately registered for that PCC, and that was never in my mind earlier. I only wanted to become a coach, and ACC was enough for me. I think that MCC thought itself was so strong that I felt that PCC is just a milestone. It's not a target. Target is like going to the highest level of coaching. So that's how I entered into PCC. And again, that's an awesome experience. Thank God once again I entered into PCC. The trainings which I am going through, the depth which we are going through to all the competencies, it's awesome. Thank you.
So, Vivek, I must admire that someone you look up to asked why not MCC, and you immediately jumped into PCC. Given that Regal Unlimited is a premium institution and we do charge a premium, but what would your take be that leaders should invest in enhancing the leadership quotient through certifications like an ICF credential and not cheap out on them?
But there was no second thought, I would say. So first I will talk about coaching. So coaching is the art of letting people come out of their own selves. So if you ask, so normally in office we discuss about a manager versus a leader. I have the third dimension now. So it's not only a manager versus leader, it's a manager versus leader versus a coach. And when
Hmm.
a leader wears the hat of a coach, the people transformation goes to a next level. This is what I have seen. So it is. I have not been able to practice much as a coaching in the office because it is just I've learned. But whatever team I have right now, in all my meetings, now I don't give them any inputs. I don't give them. I just give them some direction and ask them to think over what they would have done if they were in the situation. If they were in my seat, what they would have done. I think such some questions I ask from my coaching background now. I think it helps them. They're also happy. So a couple of them told me that thank you that you are allowing us to think. मैंने कहा, yes, they should do that. So I think leaders must know what coaching is, and I'm not saying that everybody should be an ACC or PCC, but leader as a coach is definitely every leader should look out for. And from a good institute, it's not about, I'm not praising Regal because I have done from there. It's more about the support which Regal has provided in the entire journey. If that calls for a premium, be it.
Oh, Vivek, I don't think even I, being in the sales role, could have summarized it so beautifully.
Now, I think you asked that question, and in everything is just coming from bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Those are really kind words. In one of our discussions, you also mentioned how you happen to see that just by maintaining a coaching presence, there was a sudden markable improvement in the accountability of your team. So you briefly touched upon that in your previous answer, but what was that shift that led to greater accountability?
Okay. So while presence is definitely there, I think the larger quotient is not guiding them. In fact, listening to what they are saying, listening to where the energy shifts. I think this coaching has taught me once again to notice that energy shifts in people. You know, so listening to their energy shifts and that letting them know exactly where they are facing a challenge. Because if we are present in our conversations with our people, we are very clearly able to see where the energy went down and where they were excited about. So when I start to reflect upon their thoughts, I think they get a so much clarity. Okay, so this is where I will work, and I'll get back to you on this. So not being into a coaching conversation, just actually, if you talk about presence, so just by being present and noticing those shifts and just reflecting upon them to them, I think this helps a lot. And yes, I tell them very clearly, this is what I noticed. Just go and think over it. You can come back and we can do a session, we can do a discussion on how we can solve it. But first, I want you to check over your thoughts and then come back to me. That has been my approach now for the past 2 3 months, I would say.
So, Vivek, you mentioned about the manager versus leader versus coach. So, how do you maintain the fine balance between performance target, but not being bogged down by the stress of it, enough to maintain presence for your team, a coaching presence?
Tricky question, I would say. I'll try to summarize my thoughts. I'll just so see what this is how I see. So a manager is a task manager. When I wear the hat of a manager, I have my
Mm.
to-do list which I have to deliver. I get paid not to be a leader. I get paid to get things done. In very simple words, right? But when you get things done by people, people don't need manager. They need leaders, right? People don't like managers at all. This is what I have felt
Mm.
in my last at least 10 years of leadership for sure, where I have been a manager for last 10 to 12 years. They don't like manager asking morning to evening about what's the status of the work done. They don't like because as soon as I wear the hat of a manager, I start to micromanage. So I have to shift. That time I have to shift. When my people get uncomfortable, I have to shift to being a leader now, allowing them some space, yet demanding, and also guiding. So leader also guides, right? Every time, whenever we see our people in situations where they're not able to find their own solutions or they are stuck, I think when I say leader, I see leader more as adding as a people side to the manager. So a manager more focused on the people side becomes a leader. When I say coach, that's the third level. Even being a leader, not just guiding, but allowing the person to come out with their own solutions. That is what leader as a coach helps me to do now. So if I were a leader, I would always have a people quotient. I will help them achieve their tasks. I will also yet take some follow-ups, but still the focus would be purely on the people side. But coaching is not only people side. Coaching is allowing them, because I think when we have a coaching hat as a leader, we make leaders better. We create leaders, I would say. So that's how I see. And thank you once again for asking that question.
Wow, Vivek. Now that kind of nudges, I think, every manager to move to a leader space and every leader to move to a coach's space.
So for sure.
So you had just finished your level 1 ACC training with us, and then you signed up for PCC training with us. Then what prompted you to participate in Coaching Unlimited? The reason being, we suffer the fallacy of that I know enough. Competencies, it is just competencies. I've just done that at level 1 also, and I'm refreshing at level 2. Then what made you choose Coaching Unlimited, which is again diving deep on coaching quotient?
See, whenever you read a book, it happens with me at least. Whenever I read a book, we get one perspective. Whenever we read the same book again, we get another perspective. Forget about book. Now come to a paragraph. When we read a paragraph, I have seen myself underlying a particular sentence in that paragraph. Somehow, when I read the same paragraph again tomorrow morning, I underlined some other line. Why so? Because every time you get different perspective of the same sentence you read. So when it's about competencies, competencies are entire Gita, I would say. Those 10 to 12 pages of competencies, ethics and values and the competencies, it's worth reading every day, and every day you get different perspective. So even if I had registered for my PCC, Coaching Unlimited, I had full belief that when I'm sitting in between those master coaches and the peer coaches, I think that learning will be at next level, and it was so proven well. I was so happy. We all were so happy at the end of these 3 days. No comparison, I would say.
So Vivek, I'm glad that you're enjoying this journey, and you have also recommended some near dear ones to our program, which shows your commitment to not only the external transformation, but also the internal transformation that a coach experiences.
I would say yes. So while I have recommended one of my close ones, and I clearly told her that it's not only about being a coach, it's your self transformation journey which you'll go through. That's I'm more excited about. What you will learn will definitely add to your feathers, but what you will become, that's most important, because I see so many changes in me, so much and just by clarity, I would say I have done so many sessions where I was a client and I had real problems to discuss. I couldn't implement many of them, but the clarity which I got in all those sessions has changed the way I do so many things in my life. So I think the person we become during that coaching journey, the transformation we undergo through, that's the power, I would say. And yes, I'm working on some more people in my close relationships to get to
That is
coaching.
wonderful. So now, Vivek, I would just since I must say I can't believe that time just flew by. We have crossed 20 minutes almost.
Yeah, I
I
just
have just,
noticed. Yeah,
with your permission, I would ask you one question
please go
because
ahead.
I'm sure you would summarize it better than I can by miles. Why should every leader become a coach?
See, every leader is a human, and every human requires to be a coach, I believe. If you are a leader, you are leading people. Coaching should be the only way, or coaching is the only way by which you can make leaders. You cannot make leaders by telling them what to do. You can make leaders by letting them know themselves what should be done. If that answers your question.
That answers brilliantly. Leaders as great followers, but coaches make great leaders.
Absolutely, you summarize it better. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Vivek, for taking the time out from your busy schedule to be here with us today. Dear viewers, we have our next batch of ICF Level 1 in-person training in Chennai. I'll put in the details as a comment. Um, Thank you, Vivek. We hope to host you soon again. Until next time, dear viewers, see you next week from 9 p.m. onwards, Indian Standard Time. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much, Anirudh and Regal, for having me here. It was great fun, I would say, and great time sharing my thoughts. Thank you so much once again.
I would say 20 minutes is too less of a time to host you.
I'm sure I would love to be another time.
Thank you.